This is Cooking at Kaleo. Today I'm excited to teach you guys how to make a taco bar. We're gonna do ground beef and shredded chicken tacos tonight. So let me tell you about the ingredients. We're gonna use 2 pounds of ground beef, a packet of taco seasoning for those, some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We're also gonna put some taco seasoning on those and salsa. We're gonna cook those in the oven. Then, okay, something that I really miss when I'm at Kaleo is homemade tortillas from H-E-B, but look what I found at Walmart. These are raw tortillas that you find in the refrigerated section. They're Tortilla Land brand, and you can cook them on your skillet, and they make like homemade tortillas, and they're so yummy. They have flour and corn for you gluten-free friends out there, okay? So get Tortilla Land tortillas, they're amazing. Tacos for me are all about the toppings, and since we're only doing tacos, we're not doing any side items, we can kind of go big on the toppings. So we're gonna do some grilled onions. I don't like raw onions, I like them cooked, so we're gonna cook this guy. I'll show you guys how to do that. Some fresh cilantro, some fresh lime juice, some avocados, or we could even make guacamole. I'm just gonna slice these up tonight, keep it simple, but guacamole on tacos is the jam. And then I have 2 kinds of salsa. I'm really into this fresh salsa from Walmart right now. And then this guacamole salsa is so yummy. And then I love sour cream and shredded cheese. Let's get started. We're gonna start on our chicken first. So I went ahead and preheated the oven to 400 degrees. I love this chicken recipe because it comes together so quickly and it's super yummy in tacos or burrito bowls or taco salad. So I'm just sprinkling my chicken. You wanna I used about 7 chicken thighs here, 6 or 7 is good. You just wanna make sure they fit in a single layer in your glass baking dish. Sprinkle them with a packet of taco seasoning and just kind of rub that all around, toss to coat. Rub it all over the tops and bottoms. And then we are just gonna put about a cup of salsa all over this and then just pop it in the oven for about 30 minutes. So salsa all over, rub that around, get it nice and coated, and put them in the oven. I just put the chicken thighs in the oven, and now we're gonna work on our ground beef. We're just gonna brown it today, and I wanna talk to you guys about food safety. So I bought these like tubes of ground beef. You can buy them in a package that's not a tube, but when they come like this, they're a little bit cheaper, so that's what I buy. So I'm gonna open this by cutting off the top, and then I will squeeze it out into my pan. Now, you notice that I used a cutting board and a knife to cut that open. So this side of my cutting board is now dirty because I cut raw meat on it, and this knife is now dirty. I cannot use this to cut vegetables, and I cannot use this side to cut vegetables without cleaning it or flipping it, okay? So we're gonna cut some veggies up in a minute, and I'm gonna flip my board. I'm not gonna use the side that I cut the raw meat on. I went ahead and got the other pound of ground beef in the pan, and I'm just kind of stirring it occasionally and continuing to break it up with the spatula. It's already getting nice and brown. Whenever it's all browned, then we're gonna add some taco seasoning. While our ground beef is browning in the pan, we're gonna chop up our onions. So I flipped my board to the clean side and got a new knife. It's nice and clean, and I'm gonna show you guys how to slice up an onion. Okay. So, when you're cutting onions, y'all know they make your eyes water. So I'll tell you a few tips for this. First of all, you could chew gum. Sometimes gum absorbs the fumes and doesn't make them get in your eyes and make them water. You just want to cut the top off and then peel off the first layer. Just kind of try to keep it away from your eyes. Then, whenever you cut your slices, you can put them under a wet paper towel. That also stops the fumes from getting up into your eyes and making them water. I'm not going to guarantee that your eyes won't water at all, but they'll water a little less. Another tip is just to use an older onion, like if it's about a week old, that's better. Fresher onions have more juices that get up in your eyes and make your eyes water. Okay, so we cut the top off. Now we're just gonna cut a little bit of the bottom off to give us a cut side down. See how I did that? So now it's not rolling around on me, it's a flat surface. Then you just wanna slice your onion pretty thin, maybe like 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch slices. And then we will kind of break these all up in a pan and get them cooking and get them nice and soft and sweet. When you get to the end of your onion and it won't stand up for you anymore, it's gonna fall over, just put it down, cut side down, and then kind of run your knife through it horizontally. Put your hand on top for stabilization, and just cut that very last slice, just like that. Our ground beef is all nice and brown, so I'm just scooping it out into a separate dish with a slotted spoon. I'm gonna leave some of this fat in the pan, and we're gonna cook our onions in the same skillet. So to cook these guys, you just put them over medium heat again and break them up into the pan. like that. I broke all my onions up into the pan, and I actually turned my heat to a 4 because they were really sizzling. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and just stir that around. This process is called caramelization. So the salt helps the onions release some of their water, and then it releases some of the sugar, and then the sugars in the onions kind of caramelize the outside of them into the pan. While our onions are sizzling away, we're gonna go ahead and prep the rest of our toppings. So I got some fresh cilantro here. I just gave it a quick rinse. Easiest way to cut this is just to leave it on the stems and just cut the tops off. I mean, just run your knife through it, down and forward, down and forward, down and forward. It's all chopped up, it's perfect. Next, I really love fresh lime juice on my tacos, so lime hack for you, just roll it under the palm of your hand a few times. That helps the juices release, and it'll be a lot easier to squeeze it. So I just cut this guy in half, cut it in half again, cut side down, and then cut it in half one more time. You get these nice little lime wedges that people can squeeze individually on their tacos. And then the last topping is fresh avocado. So, okay, let me talk about when you can tell an avocado is ready to go. You want it to give a little bit when you push on it. You don't want it to be squishy though. You don't want it to be mushy, all right? And you don't want it to be too firm. So if it gives a little bit of give, then it's ready to go. Just slice it carefully with your knife all the way around. Gently do this, gently, gently, all the way around. Open it up, nice and ripe on the inside. And then gently again, slice vertically down, down, gently. Don't push your knife all the way through the peel. Just go to the back of that peel and stop your knife before it goes through. Cut it both ways like that, and then you're able to just scoop it out with a spoon straight onto your taco. Okay, our onions are all ready. See when they get this nice caramel color? That means they're ready to go, so I'm just gonna move them into this little glass for serving. There's no tiny bowls here, so I'm using glasses today for all the toppings. Okay, got my onions out of the pan, and I'm gonna put my meat back in the pan so we can season it up with taco seasoning. So add it back to the pan, and then add 3/4 cup water on top of the meat, and 1 packet of taco seasoning. Stir that all around and then let it simmer for 10 minutes. Our ground beef is simmering over medium heat, and it was time for our chicken to come out of the oven. It had been 30 minutes at 400. So let me show you guys my favorite hack for shredding up chicken easily. Okay, so you're gonna use your mixer, your little hand mixer, this guy, okay? And put all the chicken in either your biggest bowl or this big pot that you have at Lake Town. All the chicken in the pot. Then put a little bit of that juice that collected in the pan from all the salsa into the pot. Then you just turn on your mixer and kind of put it on top of the chicken, spread it all up. Takes about 30 seconds to get it all shredded up. I'll show you guys the finished product. Here is all the shredded chicken. It only took about 30 seconds to shred it up. I'm gonna add the rest of this salsa that was left over in the pan from cooking the chicken, and it is ready to go. It's time to cook our tortillas now, so I went ahead and rinsed and wiped out my skillet that I had my ground beef in, and I've got my tortillas out. So this is what they look like when they come out of the package. They're raw. Just grab one, put it straight onto your hot skillet. I have it turned on to a 7 right now. It's nice and hot. Once the tortilla starts to bubble up, then you can flip it over to the other side, and once that side starts to bubble, it's done. You can just take it out of the pan and put it in a warm paper towel or just a clean paper towel, and then you can cook all of them and just stack them all up and keep them warm. Okay, our tortilla is bubbling, so it's ready to flip. See how it got a little bit brown on this side? So now we're gonna watch it bubble on the other side, and then it'll be ready. Our tortilla is bubbling up on this side, so it's done. I'm just gonna move it into a paper towel and let it keep warm right there, and I'll start another one. Our taco bar is all set up. We have our yummy semi-homemade tortillas, our seasoned ground beef, our shredded chicken, our yummy caramelized onions, fresh cilantro, fresh lime, avocados, our 2 types of salsa, sour cream, and of course, our shredded cheese. I hope you guys enjoy these yummy tacos, and we'll see you next time on Cooking at Caleo.